That's where most of the leakage is on that one.
Well, it makes sense that the water pressure is going to blow out, so what needs to happen is apply to the inside. Did we look at those options?
Well, the options for the inside are very expensive.
Well, we're coming into the winter season where we could survive on one tank while we fix the one at a time, is that right?
Correct.
And it's possible that we look further into...
Brian's talking to the engineers.
Brian, you got a big one?
Yeah, there's Delegated Ray says that that tank shouldn't leak, and that you're supposed to basically report that to them and work with them to come up with a solution for it. My assessment from what I've heard.
Okay, well, I mean, it's
We're at 2 months.
well, I mean, but they're, okay, well, they were saying just, patch it, so it was already past the time when you could, basically do that, but I mean, did Tommy Boyd say something different?
I didn't talk to them about it.
How old are these guys? Warranty, is that?
Well, unless there's a quote, a intrinsic defect in the manufacturer, and there isn't because the plates are fine, they're not breaking, they're not rusting. It's the joints, the expansion, contraction joints, and the material isn't all the way filled, and so where you have 4 steel plates bolted together, they're about a 1/4 inch thick. So there's a lot of gap in there. They can't quite get it plugged. So what most places do, I'm told now, is get some. It's a sticky epoxy. You can push right in there, and it goes into the hole, and it actually sticks really good.
I just didn't see that lasting very long, put it on the outside.
They're saying unless the tank is actually damaged and it's getting, and the pinholes are from the thing actually eating through the steel.
There's rust all around the bands on those.
Well, that's actually brown algae. I mean, wipes off. You can take a rag and wipe off the.
Where they're leaking at the seams.
Right. Because it's not in the metal. It's a glass. I mean, it's like a 14 coat electroplate system, and then the last 2 coats are like a powder coat. So it's got like a thick glass coating over the steel, and that hasn't been damaged. I mean, it hasn't been scratched or anything. So.
But the fact that the tanks are still leaking.
Right. Yeah. And so, like I said, we try that, and then especially through the winter time when you have all the cold and the heat, which I would imagine would have a tendency to break it down faster, because it's gonna have more movement and.
And that's going to be exacerbated by the erratic shifts in pressure, correct?
Well, we'll lower the pressure in the tank. We'll lower if you put the epoxy in, then once it kicks off, then you can raise it back up and actually immediately see if it's going to work. But that's why I want to get a few spots, and then take a stick or something, and try to put to beat on it and see if it's going to come out. I mean, if it's going to get loose.
Right.
The epoxy's supposed.
How big are these tanks that are leaking?
An 800,000 and a 350,000 gallon tank.
And how old are they?
They're 7
years.
7 years, about 7 years.
If I could just make a suggestion, I know you guys are professionals in what's going on here. There's a local company out of Cloverdale that lines them. I'm sure you know New World.
Yeah.
And I think they provide a material that has a 35-year warranty in direct sunlight. I don't know what it is, it's inside of a tank, but that's their main business, and they're fairly inexpensive. We've had them work for us several times.
Define inexpensive.
Well, I don't know what inexpensive is to you either, but if it's going to fix a problem for 50 years, then it might be better than patching one spot and watching it come out next.
I mean, I would be interested in looking at that option versus putting a Band-Aid on the outside.
Well, I can make a photocopy of the spec sheet, and then probably, because they can probably get the information off of that then. We have the engineer drawing of the tank, so all the stresses and the dimensions and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could invite them up, and I'm sure they'd give you a free estimate. Probably wouldn't cost you a dime.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I give them the engineer thing, they should probably be able to look at it and say, this may square foot of a thing, and there's access ports and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So.
Have you solved the overflow problem on those tanks?
Well, so far they haven't overflowed lately, thank God. But no, the telemetry is not finished yet, no.
So you're telling us more.
It's both, but the overflow is a major thing.
So if we could at least, if we got a line inside, we could serve one, we get one and then we start.
And that's why they did two tank systems too, so that if one ever broke, if the line broke, or if you need to maintain one, you can shut one of the tanks down.
Right.
Still serve the town.
Well, the thing was that there's a fault, I mean, through the river, there's a fault and an earthquake, cuts off, and then you can basically valve off both halves of the system, and you can run from the bridge that way, and then from the school the other way, so both sides of the county independently operated with the bridge broken, is what they're.
Any other questions?
Does Everett need to be directed to contact the club or anything? I think he's already in ground to do so. And I wrote it down.
That's New World, right? Yeah.
Susan, I'd just like to point out that those tanks were built about 7 or 8 years ago, and they should not have leaked. And they've leaked continuously ever since. And it appears that what Everett's saying, it was either the fault of the construction project or the lack of inspection, or it could be a fault of the structure of the tank itself. But it should have been dealt with years ago and not let it go for 7 or 8 years.
Well, potentially we have a resolution. Thank you. Let's move on to the next item, if there are any other questions. And this is the proposal to reduce HPD expenses.
I take the floor on this one. I'd just like to reintroduce the idea of the possibility of looking at new management and just keeping that idea alive. Just a person willing to come in and help us out. Just want
What are the cost savings?
approximately about $180,000 a year.
For what, Mike?
It would be a new team of management offered by another district that would come in and just take care of all our water needs, sewer needs, building needs. This person has a complete team, and they would just be able to come in and just basically take over the lift station.
Is this is this the same company that wrote us a letter and said that they didn't want to do it?
Yes. Which I have been in contact recently with, and they still show interest.
They wrote us a letter and said they didn't want to, and now are they writing us a letter saying that now they've changed around?
Yes.
And I guess we should all see that letter. Got a copy of it?
No, it was a group conversation.
We'll need to have
So in this other company or this other district, they have a, would you say a superior accounting system, one that most people can understand?
Yes.
Yes, if they sent up ours, so we have that
the
in.
government did bring us information, we can all see it. Because there's nothing in writing.
The accounting system was set up by Water, okay?
But the way they do it is readable.
It's the same.
Well, I just want to point out, Willow Water ran the system for a number of years.